What is up, guys? It's the John Gasm coming at you today with the long-awaited, only talked about in myth episode of Conspiracy Theories. The reason this episode is so legendary, and this is something I actually only found out today when I went into the search bar and typed out the John Gasm to see if I popped up. Which, by the way, if you want to do yourself and search the John Gasm so I'm kind of a more frequent result, that'd be awesome. But when I went on there and I typed out the John Gasm, there were three or four results. There was one, just my name, the John Gasm. There was the John Gasm Frozen, the John Gasm Cartoon Conspiracy Theories, and the John Gasm Drake and Josh. Now, not all of you may have known this, but I have never done a video on Drake and Josh. I think I may have talked about doing it in one of my videos. I think it was actually the Ed, and Eddie one, but don't quote me on that. But I never actually did it, and the reason for that is actually because I've never watched Drake and Josh before. It's not because I thought it was a bad show or anything like that. I just had no way to watch it because I didn't have cable. And because I never watched the show, I never knew a good conspiracy theory about it when I saw it. But after seeing that enough people had specifically searched for both my name and that theory, I figured it's time to make one. Now, disclaimer, and the reason that I didn't have a skip button up in the corner so you could skip this long intro is because I want you all to listen to this disclaimer. I've never watched a full episode of Drake and Josh, nor have I watched a full episode of any of the shows or even seen a clip of an episode of some of these shows that this theory talks about today. So if there's any inconsistencies in what I'm explaining, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, but don't be a dick about it. The theory is that Drake and Josh, iCarly, and the show Victorious all take place in the same universe. For one, and this I do know about the shows, is that everybody uses Pear merchandise, which is their Nickelodeon version of Apple. But the similar brand idea doesn't just stop with Pear merchandise. In addition to the same electronic software, they also have the same TV shows in both universes. And all of the shows also use the same cuss words. So these are just a bunch of little details that are similar between the shows, but it doesn't stop there. Now, as we all know, and even I know this, is that the girl from iCarly is also on Drake and Josh, only on Drake and Josh, she plays the role of Megan. Now, Megan and Drake and Josh do not get along with each other really at all. Now, the theory goes is because they never get along, Megan gets fed up one day and decides to run away from home. When she runs away, she decides to bring her childhood friend, Crazy Steve. Her and Crazy Steve run away to Seattle, Washington, where she comes up with a new identity for herself, Carly Shay. The reason Crazy Steve doesn't realize that so much is changing is because Crazy Steve is crazy. Megan is able to convince him that he is her older brother, Spencer, and it is his role to take care of her, thus placing the burden on him so she doesn't have to do as much work herself. After living with Crazy Steve for a couple years, she decides to start making a web show, and she does this initially to try and get into contact with her parents because she has no other way of doing so. Now, I realize that in iCarly it says that her father is away in the military, which very well may be true, but some people say that the reason that she says he's in the military isn't because he actually is, but because her idea for her web series to get into contact with her parents never worked. So instead of dealing with reality and saying maybe they've seen this and maybe they don't want me as their daughter anymore because of the fact that I hurt them by running away, she comes up with a story herself that her father just doesn't know about it because he's been gone in the military for how many years. Yes, I realize that's a little bit of a stretch, but let's keep going, shall we? Now we're going to go back to the show Drake and Josh for a second and show how it's connected to the show Victorious. Now, throughout the Drake and Josh series, Josh worked at a movie theater under a manager named Helen. Drake and Josh and Victorious become connected when Helen, the manager of the movie theater, goes on to become the principal of Victorious. Now you could say, John, it's just the same actress with the same name playing a different role in a different TV show. It's not that rare. You could say that, but if you said they weren't connected, you would be wrong. Because there is an episode of Victorious where Helen, as the principal, references her job as the manager at a movie theater over Josh. So now we know Drake and Josh and iCarly are connected, along with Drake and Josh being connected to Victorious. In addition to this all, Victorious is connected to iCarly, and we know this when Sam from iCarly and Kat from Victorious go on to make their own show together called Sam and Cat. In Sam and Cat, not only is it the same actresses with the same names, they play the same characters. I don't think it can get more obvious than that. And something else interesting is that there is an episode of iCarly where Carly is watching an episode of Drake and Josh. Now, we've already established that Carly is a recurring character on Drake and Josh, but she has the role of Megan. Now, if she has the role of Megan, you're saying, on the show Drake and Josh, how can that even make sense, is what you're asking me. The thing is Drake and Josh was a reality show. The reason this conclusion was come to is because at the beginning of most, if not every Drake and Josh episode starts off with a monologue from the characters. Now, if they're doing a monologue, that has to mean that they realize that they're on a TV show. Bam, reality show. Just did it right there. And that is the theory. If you don't like it, please don't crucify me. I feel like I was really all over the place for this theory, and if it doesn't make sense and I lost track of what I was talking about, again, I'm really sorry. But I think I did pretty good for having talked about 3 shows being connected and me having only seen a couple episodes of one of them. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you rate it with a big old thumbs up to help raise my self-esteem. Comment down below your suggestions for future theories I can talk about. And subscribe if you want to be notified every time I upload another conspiracy theory or an episode of Secrets of Cinema or something else. And I feel like this should be addressed in a video that I think is going to get a decent amount of views, so I have plenty of people giving me suggestions. I am on the horizon of reaching 25,000 subscribers, which is a huge deal for me. And because of that, I do want to do another episode of Challenge Accepted, which is basically my way of saying, hey guys, thank you so much for supporting me. Here's a video of me throwing up or in a lot of pain. My idea for this episode was to put Icy Hot on my balls, and if you don't know about Icy Hot, it hurts when it's on your balls. But I don't know how much I want to do that, so if you have a better challenge, feel free to comment it also down below, because I need some suggestions, because we're going to be probably getting to the 25K marker around the end of this month or early July. And when you're all done with that, make sure you like my Facebook fan page, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. All the links of all that important stuff is in the description below. But anyway, it's time for the closer, because I don't know why I keep rambling. Stay beautiful, stay awesome, and stay fresh.